Hello everybody, Nostalgic here. Today we've got a Thomas & Friends Mega Review. So, with that, let's get into the first item, which should be a novelty for most. It's the Tomica Thomas. Now, the Tomica Thomas is one of the best items I would be reviewing today. And the reason being, well, let's see. First of all, I got two troublesome trucks with my Thomas. That's because I got a multi-pack. I'll probably be getting the Percy, James, Gordon, and Hero variants later on. But today we're focusing on this variant, which has Thomas and two troublesome trucks. I love the fact that I got this pack because, first of all, rolling stock for my Tomica stuff. And also, it's nice to get a mint condition Thomas from the Tomica range. I'll be completely honest here. I do actually love Tomica now. Because while I don't really collect it often, it is good, and not to mention the fact that it fits on Adventure's track perfectly. See? I think it could also fit on Take-Along track. Let me just get a piece of Take and Play rail real quick. So I got the longest bit of Take Along or Take and Play rail that I have. Now, let's see how it runs. It really runs perfectly. Oh, this is brilliant. And it's just a matter of saying that this just screams Thomas to me. Look at it. You've got the side rods. You've got his shape right. It just screams Thomas. And I don't want to hear people saying, if you love these so much, why don't you make Railway Legacy with Takara Tomica? Because, let me say this. The Tomicas, one, there are very few of them. Two, it is impossible to make models with them. And three, some of the models don't even have connectors, like Donald, Douglas, Duck, Toby. Yeah, some of them just don't have connectors for some odd reason. And some are harder to find than most, like Luke and Merlin. But anyway, now that we've gotten the Takara Tomy Thomas out of the way, let's move on to the next item, shall we? Gonna be honest here, the Tomica and these two DVDs are the only two original series items I have to review, are the only three original series items I have to review. So, let's start with the Best of Thomas. Now, this is the UK version of the Best of Thomas, and let me just say this. It's a good DVD. It's got a good selection of episodes like Thomas and Gordon, Thomas Percy and the Dragon, Cranky Bugs, and a bit of a good selection of episodes from the later seasons which were absolute rubbish, except for the one that took place in season 13. Why did it give me an awful episode? Anyway, it's still a good DVD overall, has a few scratches. I had to skip over some of the episodes because of the scratches, but I don't mind that at all. We also have this Hero of the Rails DVD, which comes with a 3D cover, and I got it from a charity shop for €5. And inside, not only do you get a Hero of the Rails DVD, but you also get this pamphlet, of which I'm not quite sure if it's rare or not. Let me just switch the positioning here. Okay, so for good measure on the lighting, and especially to change the orientation of the camera, I've had to use some of my studio lighting that I'm using for Railway Legacy, and even more so when I do animations and shit. So, let's take a look at this pamphlet that I got in the DVD, and trust me, it is humongous. Okay, so you get a plot synopsis of the movie, as well as a coloring sketch of Thomas and the Fat Controller. See? And over here, you get promotions for Hornby, Trackmaster, Wooden Railway, and you also get promotions for Thomasland at Drayton Manor. Just looking here. Really sorry about this, guys. So, you also get to see about the National Autism Society as well, because Thomas the Tank Engine has proven to have positive effects for children and people with autism. And you also have this Day Out at Thomas promotion with a Railway Series illustration right here. And over here, celebrating 65 years of the Railway Series. So that's it for the pamphlet, and as a whole, the Hero of the Rails DVD. Oh, this is a hard episode to make, but at the very least, I'm doing my best. Am I right? Now, these two items here I had gotten from my parents when they went to Sicily. And let me explain why. In Malta, they do not sell the Thomas & Friends color changers as of yet. They only sell them on an online store, of which you'd have to pay around $35 for the 3 color changers as a pack, which are Thomas, Kana, and Percy. So my parents managed to get me the color changers of Sandy and Thomas from Sicily. I've already unboxed Sandy to test out the color changing feature earlier. So let's get Thomas out of his packaging, shall we? So to take a closer look at these guys, let's take a look at Sandy first. Her paint job is quite strange. It's almost like a very dark violet color. And the face being red is just a bit off-putting. But on the whole, it looks pretty nice. Her face is looking very confident. And as for Thomas, he's looking as cheerful as ever. Almost like the stock standard Thomas face. Allow me to get my All Engines Go Thomas for a second. So here is my All Engines Go Thomas of yes, I have painted the footplate. See, it almost looks like the stock standard Thomas face. Almost like they redid it. Wow, Mattel wasn't lazy this time. Congratulations. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. So with these color changers, I'll get the boxes and see what colors they can turn into. So for Sandy, if you put her in hot water, she'll be able to transform into her original colors. And if you put her in cold water, she will be given this dark makeover. As for Thomas, if you put him in hot water, he will be able to transform into a Cyberkinetic Thomas. And if you use cold water, he'll just be a stock standard Thomas again. So yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, I cannot use the color changing feature here in the studio. Otherwise, my parents will kill me. Okay? I don't want to make a mess and then they come in and yeah. But at least you get the gimmick of these guys. And I'm actually very happy that we have Thomas color changers now. See, when I was a little kid, and let me be honest here, when I was a little kid, I would often have the Cars color changers in hand. And I'm gonna be honest here, I've always wondered if someday there would be Thomas color changers. There were in the Take and Play range, but unfortunately they sucked, as only having oil splatters and mud splatters would be the color changing feature of those engines. But then, in 2023, Mattel graced me with these. And the only reason I say graced me is because I don't know how other Thomas fans feel about this. Since it is All Engines Go, but on the other hand, you do have the color changing feature. For me, it's a blessing. Alright? Even though it's from All Engines Go, it's a blessing. So the last thing we have to review is the Race for the Sodor Cup set. This set, I've honestly been wanting this ever since it came out. Because although I am a fan of the Thomas and Friends series but don't like All Engines Go, I'll say this. All Engines Go has its charm to it. So, yeah. As you can see, there it is. Let me just get Thomas a bit. And it's obvious, this set comes with Thomas and Kana, and in order to ignite the play feature, let me show you. So, put the engines at the starting line like this, then push the lever down, and watch them go. And it's obvious that it's a race to the finish, and whoever wins achieves the accessory of the Sodor Cup, which is this. Now, with that out of the way, let's take a closer look at the engines that came in the set. So here are the variants of Thomas and Kana that come in this set. Thomas is just stock standard, as stated before. Well, for this version, he has the stock standard body. Meanwhile, the Color Changers version that I had showed earlier just has a stock standard face. But as for this one, this is just the confident face. Lazy Mattel, never bothering to give details to other variants of engines with other faces. Oh, wrong one I put to the side. And we have Kana looking to the side, wondering if Thomas is going to beat her. And that's just it. That's it for this review of the Thomas items that I had gotten within the past few days. So, as you can see, it really isn't much, but hey, it has been a good amount nonetheless. So, with that, everybody, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. This is Nostalgic signing off, and reminding you all that nostalgia never dies. Trust me. Because of the little blue engine that I collect, I don't think nostalgia will die. Will it? Who knows?